Hey, welcome to the channel. I'm your host, John Crutchfield. We're going to do a little bit of a reboot with the Grab the Map podcast. We put out an episode or two in a while, but we want to get consistent with posting out here. Love doing real estate projects, love connecting with other investors that are doing real estate deals. And so every single week, we're going to be bringing you topics, guests, all things real estate investing. For those of you who haven't met me, find me at Grab the Map on Instagram. You can also find me at Johnoson Crutchfield Jr. on Facebook. We've also got a pretty active group called Wealth in Real Estate on Facebook. So you can find us there. And of course, you could always find me at grabthemap.com as well, all over the internet as Grab the Map. And what I like to do is I like to buy properties that may need a little work or buy from owners that are a little bit motivated, a lot motivated. And I like to fix up those properties and then sell those properties or rent those properties out. It's my core strategy. I've been investing for about 8 years. And so we'll talk about a lot of the good things that have happened over that 8 year period, but we'll also talk about some of the challenges that have gone or happening in that 8 year period. Cool thing about working with somebody who actively is doing real estate deals or who's actively done a lot of deals is that I got a ton of stories that I can share, ton of things that have happened in my life as a real estate investor that I can tell you, hey, do this or don't do this, and they're real stories. I've met a lot of these guys that don't give you the real skinny on what's going on. A lot of them are selling you a course or selling you a program. They don't want to tell you what it's really like to be out here doing real estate deals. I tell you what it's really like to be a real estate investor, and I can tell you right up front, real estate has changed my life. Real estate allowed me and my family to have experiences that we probably would have never had if I would have stayed in the classroom. For those of you that don't know, I'm a former school teacher, former principal of a school, professor at college. I kind of took that go to school, get good grades, get a good job, and keep going back to school pathway before I discovered that real estate investing really was an opportunity to free up my time. Now I can make all my kids' gains. I can travel with my family to go speak and meet people all over the world. I get to manage projects that just really improve communities. My team, who's awesome, by the way, we get to provide opportunities for my team to grow and for them to have great experiences and take care of their families. So I love being a real estate investor. Today's topic, though, introducing you back to the podcast, I really want to talk about getting back to the basics. Okay. Getting back to the basics. And I felt like this would be a good topic to reboot this podcast because a lot of times, like, especially as entrepreneurs, we can get this shiny object syndrome where everything that we hear about that sounds like exciting, it sounds like it might make money, we want to chase after that thing or we want to try that thing. In my business, I started looking for the cheapest properties and making offers on pretty much everything I could get my hands on that was cheap. I mean, I wanted to buy these properties so cheap that I could fix them up and then go to the bank and borrow money against the properties. And then I would rent the properties out for the long term. And that was my core business strategy. We got into multiple projects at a time, buying house after house after house, buying groups and packages of houses, and realized that this strategy works really well as long as the lending environment supports borrowing a ton of money. When interest rates went up, the lending environment got kind of shaky. Cash flow inside of my business got really tight. This makes it hard, hard, hard to keep up a strategy like that. And so then we opened up some other businesses, right? Like, let me start an event venue and let me start a construction company. Uh, and some of the businesses that we started were integrated with the real estate business, right? Like, if I'm going to be in real estate, I'm going to have to do remodeling, right? I'm going to have guys to do repairs. Some of the stuff was integrated. But some of the stuff, is totally off the wall, right? You don't need a business that distracts you from your core business. And today, I want to talk to you about the basics, right? The basics, getting back to the basics of sound real estate investing. And I think I'll go with three tips today for this bounce back podcast and this bounce back video. Um, but the first thing that I really want you to understand, okay, as a real estate investor, is that no matter what investment you're putting your money or your time or your energy into, okay, fundamentally, we are trying to create value. Okay, we are trying to add value to whatever the asset is that we're involved in. Okay, now when I say add value, what I mean is in order for you to make money, you're going to have to extract some kind of value from the project or the property. Okay. I like to buy properties where there is either property owner distress or there is property distress. Okay. This is where I like to get my value from. You may hear this phrase as you're getting your real estate education: you make your money when you buy. Okay. And the way you get a good buy is that you need to look for a distressed owner, or we'll call them a motivated owner, right? People are motivated for a variety of reasons. Okay. Or you need to look for a distressed property. Something's wrong with the property. Maybe the property needs work, it needs renovations, it has electrical issues, the roof needs to be redone. Maybe it needs to be painted. That's how we make our money because we're willing to add value to a situation like that. You drive by a property that looks like it's unkept, not taken care of, you have an opportunity to add value to the situation. If you talk to an owner and that owner is in trouble, they're stressed, they're really tired of a deal, you have an opportunity to add value to that situation. So, the number one basic idea is that we need to add value, okay, as real estate investors. If somebody comes to me with a project and there's no opportunity to add value, or if all the value has already been taken out of the deal, I'm not excited about that project. And we see this a lot right now with wholesalers or investment brokerages that claim to be bringing off market deals to sellers, but they're bringing properties where all of the value has already been extracted. Maybe it's because they contracted the property too high, so they're having to sell it too high. Maybe it's because their fee is too high. Okay. Whatever it is, you want to make sure that when you're looking at a project, there is still value there because that's how you're going to get paid. Number one, remember that your goal is to add value. Okay. Number two is that location matters. This is a basic principle for real estate investors. Anybody telling you that you can just buy anywhere, location doesn't matter, this is how you get into hot water. Okay. Location matters. Love buying in areas where you know other people are buying. Love buying in areas where you know other people are interested. Okay. Hate, absolutely hate buying in areas where you don't feel safe or you know nobody else wants the property in that location. Love buying in great locations. Okay. If you buy in a bad location, that is a type of property distress. And yes, you may be able to get a great deal, or it may feel like you're getting a property cheap. But if you buy in a bad location, you may be able to get a great deal. But when you want to exit that deal, or when you want to extract value from that deal, you're going to have to give the same discount that you got. It's very likely that unless you turn that whole area around, or unless that area is in the process of some type of gentrification, that property is in that location and that location is not getting better, you're not going to be able to make money on that deal. And the type of people that you're going to attract who want to work in a location like that are not the type of people that you want to be dealing with. Okay. You want to have stuff stolen from you, work in those locations. You want to have people cheating on you, work in those locations. Okay. You want to lose a lot of money dealing with problems, work in those locations. The basics. Buy in great locations where you know other people are buying and other people actively doing deals. And you can find these areas using a variety of online tools. Look at crime rates for a zip code, look at real estate investor activity in a zip code, call a local realtor and ask them, hey, what do you think about this address? What's this location like? Local people on the ground are great resources to talk to you about locations. But second basic of a real estate investor, buy in fantastic locations. Okay. It doesn't mean that you can only buy in class A, class B locations. Maybe you buy in some class C locations. Just keep in mind that you need to be in locations that support your ability to add value. Okay. Third, you make your money when you buy. Okay. Notice that I'm repeating this. You need to get a great discount. That means you need to be able to clearly see where you're going to make your money. Okay. Don't buy high and sell higher. That's not the game. And when the real estate market gets really hot, when there's a lot of people involved, when there's a lot of people out here doing deals and people posting on social media their big checks, it can be very tempting to have the fear of missing out and to buy high and have to try to sell higher. Every deal where I have lost money, it was either location problems or I bought too high. Okay. You can correct a lot of issues when you buy right. You can correct a lot of issues when you buy in great locations. But you want to make sure that you're buying in great locations and that you're buying for the right price. Okay. Real estate investors, these are like back to the basic type principles. And the reason I wanted to do this to start coming back with this podcast is because let me just tell y'all, you can get in a lot of trouble when you start chasing shiny objects and you forget the basics. Okay. When you start chasing deals because you see other people making money or saying they're making money on deals, when you start chasing locations because you see other people investing in exotic locations, you don't know the whole story about how they're funding that deal. You don't know the whole story about their risk tolerance or their capital position. Most people watching these videos are either getting started or you're building, you're not where you want to be yet. Stick to great locations that are highly populated and stick to buying at numbers where you have 30, 40, 50% margins. Okay. If you've got a 30, 40, or 50% margin, that's going to be your sweet spot. If you're buying with a 5 or 10 or even a 15% margin, it's going to be really hard if something goes wrong for you to make that deal work. This is basics, right? This is basics. All right. Lastly, number three, last basic for real estate investors. All right. You got to do the work. You got to do the work. It is going to be absolutely impossible for you to be a real estate investor half doing the work. You want to get up in the middle of the day, if you want to work when you feel like it, if you don't want to deal with problems or issues, if you don't want to have to manage people or manage money or manage finances or manage property conditions, if you just don't like properties, the work is not going to be something you stick to. And the work is where you make money. This is a value add business. Okay. This is a business where if you do the work, you can make money. If you don't do the work, you're going to lose a lot of money. Okay. And so you should be thinking about this as a core principle. Anybody telling you that it's easy, that you can make a ton of money with very little work, anybody calling it passive income, run, because it only gets passive when you get to the final stage, maybe when you're a lender. And even then, you still got to make sure that you're on top of your money. I'm your host, John Crutchfield. I love doing these videos and podcasts. If this is helpful to you, if you're excited about the reboot of the channel, go ahead and hit the like or subscribe button wherever you're listening to this. leave a comment that helps share this with more people. I'd love to talk to you. If you want to hit our website over at grabthemap.com or hit me a direct message on Instagram. Don't just look at it, folks. Grab the map.